or more Spotify don't come again. No stream deduction. Hey God. Okay, let's get into it. Spotify has the usual process that they follow. They always deduct stream. They review streams within the month of review and then deduct any bot streams, any fake streams, any streams that do not look legit. They take it out, right? They did it in, I don't think they did it in January, but they did it in February, March, and they did it in April, right? I think this would be the A cut. So April stream, they deduct it within the first week of May. That's how it works. So the stream for the previous month, they review within the end of the month, then announce the deduction within the first week of the new month, right? So they've done it in February, they've done it in March. This is April, then it's April, and this is May. They're announcing that they've reduced and deducted streams. Guess which artist has been consistent with this deduction? Has been caught. See, it's unfortunate, but we have to call it, and I'll say it the way it is, right? Davido has been directly involved in all of these deductions from February to March to April deductions. One name has been consistent. It's Davido. The last one, I think Adekule Gold was there. There were other artists that were there as well. I'm gonna post them in the screen, but one of our legend has been Afrobeat legend, just to be clear, has been very consistent in this list, which really doesn't look good. Aside from the culture, the Afrobeat culture, for his brand, it doesn't look good at all, right? We shouldn't be seeing this from an icon like David. Again, I'm not gonna come here and say it's David's fault. I would say David has to do some sort of damage control. But someone has to be accountable for this, man. It's this is a hat trick in bots. This is a hat trick in deductions. This is a hat trick when we come to, transparent. Like, are you transparent? It's your music, really what it is when it comes to streams. Should people keep believing your streaming numbers? And it's a problem if continuously every single month your name keeps popping up as one of the artists that the numbers is getting deducted. I mean, fans do overstream artists music. I can't take that away, right? And some of those numbers will fall into this, but 18 million streams from your freaking album, I think it's ridiculous. For a team, someone has to be accountable. There has to be an official press release. Someone has to come out to take accountability for this and say, hey, we effed up, or Davido didn't give this order, but we went on to do it anyways. Because you're not going to tell me this is not streaming, fam. 18 million is just way. If we're talking 1 million or 500k streams, then we can say, yeah, fans actually ran this up. But fans can't run 18 million streams off your entire 5 album. This album is just barely a month old. It's ridiculous. Someone has to come out. Mustn't be Davido. People should be there to take the fall for him. I mean, again, I'm not saying whatever. It's up to his team and what they have going on, but there has to be someone accountable. We can't just keep quiet and act like this is not happening. Especially for transparency, there's been Ross, this artist, American artist, who's been advocating for is either you pull the streaming numbers, Spotify pulls the streaming numbers away, and people just stream good music. Because if not, artists are gonna be desperate just to stay on top of the chart, just to stay on top of conversations, just to look good in terms of streaming numbers, and it's obviously gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep happening. So something has to happen in terms of either Spotify. I think Spotify is doing a great job already. Spotify obviously has, from their actions, they have their stance already. It means that they are not going to take those streaming numbers off public, domains. People will keep seeing the streaming numbers. They've made their stance. That's why they're doing these deductions, these reviews and deductions. Like, artists, we're not taking the streaming numbers away, but stop playing the system. That is what I see that Spotify is doing. Now it's left for the artists to say that, you know what, let the fans decide. Because if you're gonna keep playing this game, what is will end up happening is that Spotify is gonna keep embarrassing you, and the legacy that you've created over time, even prior to streaming era, is gonna go down the drain. Even the new generation won't respect you because they feel like you're manipulating numbers. They feel like you're not as big as you say you are. You know, especially when we talk about the Nigerian industry, when people feel like Davido has a stronghold and this keeps repeating itself, it makes us question, like, are you as big as you actually say you are? Again, Davido really doesn't have to take the fall. He's the artist, he's the main person, someone from the team, but Davido has to decide. He has to decide who's taking that fall, because someone has to take the fall, man. This is not just gonna come as a news and go. Do you know chat data is carrying this news? People are carrying this news, bro. It's just 5 hours ago we just found out the deductions has been officially released, and by in the next 24 hours this news is gonna go global again, and Davido is gonna be on the news again for stream deductions. He has to stay on top and ahead of this negative PR. This is so negative, man, because guess what? No one wants to do business with you, because what's happening now is whatever deductions happens, it negatively rubs off of any artist that he featured on his album. Do you see how it works? Any American artist that usually doesn't do this, but now because Davido featured them in his album, now a stream has been deducted automatically. Even if you search online, that artist on Google or whatever AI platform will say, oh, say for instance, Omale. Usually, let's say Omale doesn't do, bot streams and stuff like that. But since there's been deduction in Davido's album, AI and news platforms would carry it and say, Omale has had his streams deducted, especially if it's from the Omale single. It wasn't an Omale's fault. He was just featured on a track, but he gets hit for something that he doesn't even know about. We have Victoria Monet on a track. We have Shensia on a track. We have, international artists on tracks on his album that will get negatively affected by this. They literally have a stain on their name already just by associating and featuring Davido, or being the featured artist on Davido's album. Davido doesn't want this. Davido has to be ahead of this news. Someone comes out, takes the fall for it, officially resign, and then Davido saves face. That's the best